Crafted here with another tutorial. I just thought I'd share me making this card. We're all like doing Christmas cards and stuff, although, well, I am. I bet most of you crafters out there ain't. But if you are, great, you're joining me with that. But this is actually a birthday Christmas card. This lady's birthday is on the 15th of December. So what better way to incorporate Christmas dies with birthday, because it's the season. It snows here till what, March? It can be snowing till March, April here. Not very often, but it can do. So yeah, I thought I'd do an easel card with this. I really wanted to showcase this big snowflakes dies from the Textures range from Lou Collins. So yeah, so if you want to know how I made this card, please keep watching and I shall see you in a minute. So what we're going to use first are these two dies from Lou Collins from the Texture range, and I've just cut out two in white and I've glued them together. I've done that off camera just to save some time. And then to make the card, I've just took a piece of A4 card and then I've used my scoring board and I've just basically took this die and then made it so it was on the edge of the fold, so it didn't cut here, and then this gives us the easel card base. I've then cut out another circle, which is a full circle, using that same die again. So on the easel card we need to be making a fold on one of the sides, which is going to be the front. So I'm just going to take my scoreboard and I'm just going to half gauge it, like so it was more or less half. This is saying it's hitting just on the 14, so it's 14 centimetre mark. So I'm going to score at the 7 centimetre mark. And I'm just going to fold that over. And that's going to give us the easel base. So we can just leave that for now. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some fake snow on here, so I'm just going to go over it with a bit of glue and dip it into my fake snow. So we're going to be using this fake snow from a Crafter's Companion. I actually picked mine up at the range, they never seem to have it on stock online. But to add that little bit extra glitz and glam, I've actually added glitter into mine as well. And there's a multitude of different glitters in here. So all we're going to do now is just put some glue on there and then dip it into there. And I'm not actually going to cover the whole thing. I'm just spasmodically using my glue and just hoping that it hits certain spots, because it's so fiddly. Once we've put that in, we're just going to dip it into the fake snow. And tap the excess off. So I don't know if the camera will actually pick that up, but that's what we're going to continue to do. So now we put the fake snow on all of that. I really do hope the camera is picking it up, because it really does add some depth and texture to it, and I feel like it makes a huge difference to this one. So we're just going to leave this to dry now and put that aside. I'm going to take the plain circle that we die cutted. Unfortunately mine actually pulled with the tacky tape. That tacky tape from Crafter's Companion, I just seem to struggle with it quite a lot. Seems to always pull it off somewhere. I'm not too bothered about it because we're going to hide that where the snowflakes are, so hopefully anyway. I'm going to be using these ink pads from Crafter's Companion, which are water reactive ones, and we're using Pale Fig, Crushed Velvet and Damson Wine. And we're just going to blend these in. Using the water reactive ink pads, it's always best to get a post-it note if you're going to be doing a full coverage, because this stops any moisture off your fingers going on it, because that will react with them being water reactives. So we've completed this, and as you probably can see, there is quite a bit of texture on here. These lines have actually come off the plate when I've die cutted this. It is a pity, because obviously it'd be nice to be smooth, but I guess it just gives that extra dimension. I did actually put a piece of paper over the top to try and prevent the indentations on my cardstock, because you'll find you will get this with your time as your plates get older, but unfortunately that didn't prevent it this time. But I'm just going to deal with it and think, well, it's extra texture, isn't it? Once you are happy, I do actually want to do the water reactive, so I'm just going to spray some water in my hand and just splatter it. Now we're just going to take some tissue and just take off the excess water and see if there's enough splatter there for what we want. And no, I still want more. I'm going to take some perfect pearls, and then we're just going to add some water to this. And then I'm going to pick some up with my brush, and I'm using a fan brush that I use for my nails, because I haven't got any paint brushes yet. And I'm just going to sprinkle that on. And this is also going to add some more dimension. And we're just going to give it a bit of a dry. So once that's dry, you can really see that perfect pearls. I'm really happy on how this has turned out. So the next thing to do is we're going to be gluing this onto here. You are going to end up with a purple edge because this circle is bigger. I did think about cutting a circle out, and I might do that, I don't know, we'll see how it looks once this is on. So I'm just going to glue that. Because this is very delicate, just want to be dabbing the glue on in little dots. I'm just going to marry that up. Oops. And try and get that lip all around more or less equal. And I like to take a roller just to give that some extra welly. And that's what we have so far, guys. I can see that it's quite a bit warped here, so what I'm going to do is die cut another circle, I think, and to hope that this will give it some stability in getting rid of some of the warpage. The warpage would have come from using the heat gun and obviously adding the water to the cardstock. So hopefully that will eradicate that. So I've added in the extra circle. It has helped somewhat. I don't really want to be adding another piece of cardstock because already we're at 600 GSM plus the 300 for this one. So technically we're at 900 GSM for the thickness of this, plus then we're going to be adding it onto the easel card. So what I'm going to do, just while I'm finishing off doing this tutorial, I'm going to actually place it under my craft mat, and hopefully that will give it some time to flatten out. I'm going to be using some of these dies out of the Paper Discovery Paper Craft Society box number 25. And the dies we're going to be using are this inner circle die here, and then this fancy edging die. This one is, I'm going to be using it for my stopper for the easel card, and this is so I want to put a sentiment inside, and I haven't got a die that's big enough for this particular easel card. I could have probably gone for this fancier one on the edge here, but I didn't want it that big just because of the easel stopper. So I'm going to go ahead and I've die cutted those, and then we're going to do some stamping. So we're going to be using the Crafter's Companion stamping platform. I'm going to take these Jack Frost words from Textures by Lou Collins. I got these in my recent haul also. A lot of this is from my recent haul. And I'm undecided whether I want to put Winter Birthday Wishes or the Sparkle. And I'm thinking maybe the Winter Birthday Wishes, as it is a birthday card. So yeah, I think that's one we'll go for. Let's see if it'll fit. Just about fits. I'm going to be taking the crushed velvet, but this is in the quick dry. That's one thing I do really like about Crafter's Companion, that they do have the ink pads through all of the collections, so if you're wanting different effects you can, so that I really do like that. I'm not pressing too hard either, just very lightly. You can see we missed some. It is a brand new stamp though. These are the beauties of the stamping platforms. That will do. That's that one done. I feel like I'm going to edge it with one of the purple ink pads anyway. So now we've got the sentiment done, I just want to edge it with the Harmony ink pad again. I'm just going to go in with the paler one first, because I may just be happy with that. I'm still going to add a little bit more of the darker ones. So we've got the Damson Wine, which then will actually bring in the 3 colours that we've used on the main front of the card as well. But I'm only hitting this ever so slightly. Oh yes, I feel like that is much better. Right, so that's that done. Next thing we're going to do is the stopper, and I've cut this out 3 times to give some good substantial weight to it, and then we're just going to put the lady's name on it. So we're going to just start off with the first letter in the middle letter of the name, and luckily for us it's only actually 3 letters, just so we can get that centralised really. I'm just going to dab my finger because being so dainty, I want to get off that excess glue. And we place that down. And that dabbing that glue off just helps eliminate having the excess splurging over, especially when you're using mirror card or satin card or anything like that kind of textures, because it does show. But we do want it stuck down, so we've got our little stopper here. I also think I'm going to put some of these dreams on this stopper, just to bring some extra bling. So I'm just going to take 2 of the smaller ones, I think, and just put them on the edges. I'm just going to put a couple of blobs of glue on the ends here, and then take my crystal katana and place them in place. I just feel like that's so much better. Some of the little things, but they mount up. Right, now to erect the card. Hopefully this is flattened out, and it has flattened out somewhat. It's nowhere near as bad. In fact, actually, what we need to do is put the letters in here, the sentiment, the birthday wishes sentiment, which I haven't actually done. And to get the letters, I actually use these dies. I am disappointed in these dies just because I thought it was actually going to cut the rectangle out and then leave the spaces, and then you could use the letters elsewhere. But it literally just cuts out the letters and that's it. I know you could place these in cardstock and then cut around it like that yourself. Me personally, I have not got that kind of steady hand to write. Maybe on the jaw you could be able to do a 3 or 4 letter word, but there's no way I would get them all in line. And if anyone's got any hints and tips on how I could get them in line so I could get this effect, then please let me know. I mean, these dies are huge. They're not little dies. I like this one, this snowflake one. Like I say, if it had been ideal if they just had that cutting edge around the whole of the die. But unfortunately it isn't. So if you are looking at these dies thinking the same as me, then please be aware that is not what you're getting. You're literally just getting the word. And personally, I just feel like, why not just give us an alphabet then? Because basically this is just an alphabet without all the letters, really. So I don't know, maybe somebody can give me I know obviously you can do that effect, but I feel like you could do that with any die. So I'm just on a rampage about that, so I shut up. So because obviously there is a lot of letters, we need to be placing the letters down on the cardstock, just to make sure we've got enough space, or if it needs to be turned around. So that's what I'm just going to do. See, I can see now I'm never going to fit day here, so I know I'm going to have to bring this further down because we've got more of an empty space here. So I've got this in place here. Obviously not glued it. I'm going to have to slightly move the birthday down ever so slightly because the Y comes over onto the snowflake. It's not such a big deal, but obviously it would give some movement from the Y being on the base onto these 2 pieces of card here that I've stacked up, plus the snow. So I'm trying to not have that happen. So I'm going to go ahead and attach all of these letters. So we've got all the letters glued on now, but I feel like there's something missing in the spaces. So what I've done is I have a stash of snowflakes that when I've die cutted them and there's too many, I have actually got a die that's the whole die and it's all snowflakes, and I just throw them in it. So I've took out some silver ones, and I feel like we're just going to add some silver snowflakes onto the card just to give it that extra oomph. I guess because I wasn't planning on having the sentiment so low down as well, that didn't help. So we've got these nice big snowflakes, and we've got some nice little snowflakes, and we're just going to do the same thing. Using the tacky glue, just dabbing it on the ends. She says it'll come out. To make sure that these don't stick up. And then something in the centre, and then I'm just going to go over and brush any excess glue off. Don't use that finger to actually place down either. And I'm just going to add it here, I think. Just pressing down to make sure it sticks. I just want to add a couple of these smaller ones. We've got some like stars and little snowflakes. I'm going to put it down here as well. Right, I feel like that looks a little bit better. Maybe we should add one of those gemstones. I feel like, yeah, I'm going to add another gemstone. I feel like we'll go for a medium one this time though. I'm going to add it onto this one snowflake. Right, now I am happy with this. So we're going to attach it to the card itself, and all you have to do is glue on this bottom half. Do not glue on this half here. So I'm just going to put my wet glue all around that. And just marry up to the bottom, really, the bottom base card, just in case that fold isn't right. So now that's on. That's our easel card as such. That's our base for it anyway. And now we need to be decorating this section here. I do wish I had a circle slightly, ever so slightly bigger than this, so that we could mirror card it, but unfortunately I don't, so we just got to live with what I have. I'm just going to put this up higher here. Centralise that. And then this sign we are going to put here, but I'm thinking maybe go over just the outline of it with the purple because it's kind of lost. So I feel like I'm going to get a purple pen to do that. I'm just going to take a Spectrum Noir brush pen, and we're using it as a lavender blend, which will be LV free if you don't have these tri-blend pens. I'm just going to go over the edging really, just to give it that bit of definition. I feel like that makes it pop a little bit better. I did end up going a little bit thicker than I wanted, but hey ho. I'm going to pop some foam pads on the back here. I've just got these cheap ones from the pound shop I've had for a long time. I'm surprised they're still sticky, to be fair. But I'm going to use them up before I use any other sticky foam pads. And because we did do 3 layers of that should be more than suffice to be the stopper for there. And it is, and I could even move it up to that, so it's got a higher lift. I'm just going to go around the edge of this card as well, I think, and I'm going to go with the crushed velvet. Just take the sticky pads off. And I feel like I do want to put it on the edge of this circle to marry it up. I'm just going to take my tweezers actually because it'd be a lot easier. You know what, I am actually going to double back those pads, I think. I will marry it up. I feel like having that extra pad, because them foam pads are very, very, very thin. That's definitely going to give us that a really good stopper, and it does. Don't know if there's something else missing. I don't know. What do you guys think? I feel like this is too plain here. Maybe we should have done some pattern paper or something. I don't know. What I might do is get a snowflake stamp and stamp around it. I'm going to use these Crafter's Companion ones. It's from the Glittering Snowflakes collection. I'm guessing this was from last year. I think these are really, really pretty snowflakes. That's the ones we're going to go for. Definitely would have been better to do this without the card erected, but hey ho. So I'm just going to test it to see if I like the stamp, and I do. I don't want any like markings off on the acrylic block on it, because there's more chance of it hitting it. Right. Just like this. Just like. Yeah, that is much, much better, I feel. What do you all guys think? Did you like this card? I really, really love this die cut. I'm impressed with that, and I love being able to actually make a birthday card with it really as well. So I hope the recipient would like it too. And I'd like to say thank you for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye!